Yeah, so here's the thing, though. We can absolutely pause it because we're bougie. You know, don't get it mixed up with the bourgeoisie, but we're bougie.
What's the bourgeoisie?
The French capitalists back in like the 1900s. Karl Marx era.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, don't get it
not
twisted.
familiar with.
Well, don't get it twisted, brother. You know, but we're here.
You know, I don't know what to start it off with because, like, I feel like the start of the podcast we should come out with something exciting, but, like, I really don't have anything exciting.
I can get
so, like, I don't want to, like, get into, like, anything I have here. So, like, what? Yeah. Like,
yeah,
what are we wanting?
Doug was an actual guest today and decided to bring actual talking points and notes, which is something that has only happened once in the history of this podcast. So, if you guys are watching, just, you know, give a comment like, Doug, thanks for being an actual guest. I appreciate you. Shout out everyone who's ever been on here who's never brought notes. You are now at a lower standard because of Doug. So, congrats. Including yourself, because you've been on here without notes before, so I'm going to get you too. But
I've improved. I'm a better version of myself.
Yeah, so I was on the way home from work earlier, and I knew we were doing this podcast, so I'm like, yo, I'm going to hit Party City. I was going to get some silly shit.
Great store.
Like, terrible store. I'm sorry.
Great store and terrible store at the same time.
Great store in Halloween time. Because, bro, it looked like they were going out of business when I walked in there. It looked like it was a blowout sale.
They seriously might be.
Okay, well, now I feel bad. But
yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'll get like some silly shit, and we'll just fucking, you know, Doug will open the door when he comes in, and he'll just see me in like a robe or something, or he'll see me in like a, you know, like a it costume or something. He'll start geeking, and then I'll be like, oh, is that funny? And hold up another one, but they didn't have anything good.
You'll have a bunch of items on you that are all the exact same color.
Yeah.
Like one specific. They have that.
Oh, every color.
They have like every color and a bunch of items. So like if you want to be like really rep a certain color for whatever reason, whether it's gang affiliated, whether you're just rooting for a sports team, they have it. Party City. Yeah,
guys, this podcast is brought to you by Party City. Thank you for the sponsorship.
Around like Halloween time, they definitely probably receive like 80% of their total year revenue.
Easily.
Like is that fair? Like
easily.
I'm surprised they. No, it must not be like cheaper to like. Imagine they were like a seasonal business. Like they came back to town like around Halloween time, or like, and that was it. They were there for like the month of October, and that was it.
Like a pop-up shop, but a consistent one, right?
Yeah, like yes.
Oh, like the Christmas store in Avon. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's never open unless it's Christmas. I've been driving past that sometimes. Yeah.
So, but like, what would they do? You know, the other 11 months of the year that it wasn't being used for like costumes and.
Yeah, man, because, like, that shit's weird, because how the fuck do businesses sustain that? The property taxes and, you know, the rent due every single month when you're not open? How much you have to make an absurd amount of money to not only stay in business, but to stay open the remainder of the fucking 9 months you're not open. That's nuts.
Like, places like Sullivan's, Tony's, Clearbox, like, it's all like that. So
they crank though. I think
they absolutely
yeah
7 days a week too,
all the time. All the time.
Yeah,
I mean, half the time when you drive by the beach and shit, like the fronts there, they're just like, it's overwhelmingly full.
Yes,
any time of the day,
all the time.
It's like, man, where the fuck are all these people coming from? Makes you wonder.
They come from here. They come from Dorchester. They honestly do come from like other like places around, like other towns. Because they see Quincy as like this low key, like we're gonna go sit on the beach, and it's like we're not gonna go in. We're gonna like
please don't go in.
Chill
I
though.
beg you.
Like it looks nice though. It looks nice.
I feel like it's kind of like how like people go to Nantasket Beach, you know, like out of towners all the time. How many times have you gone to Nantasket Beach in the summertime, roughly?
Probably like 15 to 20 times.
Easily. So that's easily. And that's a little drive. So if people see a beach and they don't have one near them, if we have one near us and we still do it. Yeah. So it's like, people fucking make that commute.
I go to Nantasket. Usually, like most times I go into the water because like
I trust that water.
Yeah, I trust that water. It's crazy. You can actually you can see Hull easily from Swanham. Easily, it's very close. Yeah, like Nantasket. You can't Nantasket's on the other side, I think, of Hull. It's very like thin, like the town of Hull. And like Nantasket's on one side, but it's very easily, boom, right there.
Well, yeah, I didn't realize how close it really was until you mentioned biking there that time. Like, because we were gonna go for a run or whatever, and I was like, yo, I don't know if we can do that. And then you explained it, and I was like, yo, like we could do that. It's like right past
I still want to do
Weymouth,
that.
kinda.
I still want to do that.
I do too. I need to buy a bike
I'm
first,
do that
but
shit
yeah.
soon.
I got a bike, but it's not a bike that you can bring to Nantasket and back and expect it to be in one piece, though. But Facebook's a hell of a place.
You ever bought anything off Facebook?
Yep, my PC.
Wow.
I met a guy in a Walgreens parking lot. He pulled it out of his trunk and explained everything to me in the middle of a parking lot while his pregnant girlfriend sat in his car.
Whoa.
And I shook that man's hand. When I looked in his eyes, you know what I saw? Nantasket Beach. No, I didn't see that. But I saw a great human being. That's what I saw. I saw a man looking back at me who was a great human being for doing that, for explaining all that shit to me.
Do you think maybe, like, the baby was on the way and it was, like, time for him to, like, get rid of it because, like, he's got to, like, focus on this baby? He's spending too much time on the PC.
I had that thought until he proceeded to tell me that he just upgraded. But it's a good thought, and it sounds romanticized. It sounds like a Lifetime movie thing, and I want to believe
this guy, like, shout out this guy.
Well, don't get me mistaken. This guy was fucking. He had a baby on the way, man.
He's got a baby, and he upgraded.
Bro, that's class.
He's leveling up right now.
Shout out that guy.
How long ago was that?
Man, that must have been in November, December-ish, because it was cold.
How did you know the girlfriend or wife was pregnant?
Because I looked over, and I was like, oh.
Was it visible? Like.
No, I looked over. I was like, "Oh, is that your girlfriend? I don't want to make her wait. I'm sorry, man." He's like, "Oh no, she's good." And I was like, "All right, word." And he's like, "Yeah, we got a baby on the way." And I was like, "Oh no way, man, that's awesome."
Okay,
congrats.
so she probably gave birth by now. Honestly, there's a good chance because you don't tell anyone until like you're like a month and a half in.
Yeah.
So like, there's a good chance baby's out.
Man,
and that man's a father now.
Does that mean I was part of that journey? Essentially?
Yes, absolutely. You think he forgot that experience?
I doubt it.
No.
Because he was enthusiastic to teach me about it, too.
You could have been, but, like, I didn't think about this. You could have been the first person he told. Because it's like, I'll tell this guy. He knew it was, like, it was too early to tell family. But he's like, I'll tell this guy. And it, like, doesn't matter if, like, the baby ends up not making it because, like, I'll never see this guy again.
Yeah.
You know?
At least he got off his chest, though.
I hope that didn't didn't mean to put that out there, but like I'm sure the baby's doing fine.
Well, that's why people hesitate on telling initially. Yeah. I don't think anyone perceived it that. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean, but I didn't perceive it that way. But I know that's why you got.
Could have been a big deal for them.
Yeah.
Like,
man, it's the random acts of kindness like that, man. I like in life. You know, I like that shit. You know, don't be a dick.
Yeah, I was at Sullivan's today, Castle Island. Grabbing some food.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Another
day.
beach.
And this guy went in to get whatever food at Sullivan's, and he had this big German Shepherd, beautiful dog. And like everyone's right there, and he like ties it to a post, and the dog just like sits there. And like at first it was like sad that the owner like left it, but it was just like it couldn't take the dog, and he couldn't. It was like the one guy. But the dog waited there very patiently, very loyal, like just waited for its owner, just sat there. And like there was a guy behind us, Sophia and I, in line, and he told us that like he had a dog just like that he rescued or something. He said he like took a fall in a forest, in the woods or something, like a bad fall, and he said the dog like woke him up or something. And like obviously I didn't get the whole story, and like we were like wow, but he didn't like say too much. But I think like he didn't like he fell and like was by himself, and like he ended up just like this dog ended up waking him up. And
was
like
it his dog, or was
I
it
don't think it was his dog before this. And I think like he called the dog a guardian angel. So like that's what makes me think like that happened. If you're just walking your dog in the forest and like you fall, get like you're out for a little bit, and then you come to. But it's like your dog is like eventually. I feel like that was just gonna happen. It's like your dog's just like gonna most likely wait for you until
like, my owner's down for 10 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lick him.
Yeah. But it's like if you're gonna if the dog's a guardian angel, I feel like this dog just appeared.
See, that's
someone might have left it. It might have just been, I don't know what was going on, but
see, imagine that scenario. Let's do a hypothetical. Imagine someone leaves the dog there intentionally. That dog is just lost in the woods, God. And he stumbles upon this fucking man, wakes him up, and has a happy home for the rest. Imagine that. I'd like to think a story like that. Something that, like, the dog was like down and out, and then boom, whole life. Both of them just got automatically changed around. That's how I like to look at that.
I love that.
Man, that's fucking beautiful. And this is a complete stranger who told you this.
Yes.
Love it, man. Love it.
Like I could see like he was trying to like. He went over to the dog, and like I could see it, like this dog reminded him so much of his like old dog. It like really like meant so much to him. It was like, wow, like dogs be looking the same. So like you never know when you might see a dog that looks exactly like your dog.
Yeah, man. It's just the bond between a pet and an owner can be so like. For some people, everyone loves their animals, but for some people, it can be like a actual connection that's more than words. Like it's like one of those things. I've witnessed it where people like, this is my friend. Like, this is my dog.
Exactly.
This is my family
member. They become family.
I mean, I've experienced that. I don't know why I'm saying other people. I have myself. I get that. Yeah, it's amazing.
So yeah, the bonds are just as strong as bonds with humans.
And that's important, man.
Just as strong.
That's important, because that's like
bonds with honestly like anything could be like can hold as much significance as a bond. But you can, like with something living though, there's something there that you like with an inanimate object. It's like there's something not there, but with anything living, like absolutely.
Yeah, because some people can get a bond to a material item that was passed down from the past.
Absolutely.
That's always sentimental.
Absolutely.
Like ashes or urn or something. That's good. But having that tangible
something
thing
like that,
that's breathing and shit, it's just like it's
even with like a fish, like it doesn't matter. The fact that it's living and it's like you provide for it and it provides for you.
Except for cats. A cat will eat you if you die.
That's what they say.
Yeah. I don't want to be pessimistic, but those fucking things will eat you if you die and you don't feed them. If you're in your apartment for 3 days and that cat hasn't had food for 3 days, that cat's going to nibble on your eyes.
I almost, I don't really blame it, but like...
Gotta do what you gotta do.
I wish I could test that theory without like actually someone having to die, but...
Like a nice, like, controlled environment.
And starving the cat.
Yeah.
Too.
Maybe like fast the cat and have like a clone of a human. Like
I feel like it would have to be like its owner. Like it has to be.
You think the attachment's there?
Otherwise, it's like. Sure, the cat would probably eat someone.
Well, you could get a really sophisticated AI, make it silicone based, but resemble silicone based on the inside, but have like organs looking, skin on the outside and whatnot, lack organs, but see what happens. Have that cat live with that AI for a while in a controlled environment, like a year. See what happens if you just shut down the AI.
I have not thought about that. I haven't thought about how like humans. There's like we're able to share a bond with AI, and it's like for a lot of people it's the exact same. Like the bond with it feels the exact same as sharing a bond with a human. Obviously for the computer, it's like it doesn't actually feel anything, but it's like for the human it feels exactly the same as most of the time with like obviously some people aren't interested in those relationships, but like with like an animal, say like a dog or a cat, I feel like they wouldn't know the difference at all between like a really technologically advanced AI. It's like that dog's gonna like share the exact same bond that it has with the human. It's like that dog has no idea. Like honestly, right? Like
I feel like dogs kind of pick up on energy and vibes.
You think?
I do.
So do you think like that dog, like an animal, let's talk about dogs specifically. Not like it wouldn't be as strong as like with a human. Like it could never be.
I don't think if it wasn't a conscious being, I
Yeah.
don't think it could, because this is the speculative. I think dogs just know. Like, I think they have an extra sense or whatever when they can just really register emotions and vibes and shit. I mean,
I think like they really like it's been like proven that they like, well, they can like sense things that humans can't. That it's
paranormal?
like yes, and
Yeah.
like there's things like that like I guess like you can't prove, but it's like everyone like. If you've heard like enough stories from people, like like maybe you have your own experiences, like
I do indeed. Yes.
like it's like I don't know what it is, but like they're just like so. Like you take a dog out in the woods and like they're gonna like pick up on something like and like way before like a human will, maybe like seconds before, but it's like. They can like feel it through the ground or something, or just like
I bet it's just because of the evolution of them. That they were just wolves. They were
Yeah.
They weren't domesticated for millions of years. They had to do that because like they had to have that sense of, oh shit, it's a predator looking at me, or oh shit, I smell. I just
Yeah.
feel like they have to, like, sharks do it. Smell a drop of blood miles away. Polar bears can smell an animal from like 50 miles or something ridiculous like that. Dude, if a seal farts on the other side of an ice cap, that fucking polar bear can smell the fart. Animals know what the fuck's going on. I think that's what we forget. We forget that these animals were legit wild creatures for so long. I think that's embedded in them. It has to be.
it's so wild to me, even like today, like on like cold winter nights where the snow's blizzarding and like it's so cold outside, you can't even be outside for 30 seconds without being like
Yeah.
it's like there are animals living just like out in the ground or like in the trees right now
And thriving.
and like they're thriving, they're doing exactly what they need to do to survive. Like they're not doing anything else except for what they need to do to survive. And it's like they're just like hunkering down whatever they're doing at that time. Like it's so crazy to think about. Like it's like there's no going inside for them. There's no like this is it. Like they do this like year after year after year. Like it never stops.
They know nothing else. And if you put them in an environment where it wasn't like, what happens if you put them in zoos? They get depressed as fuck.
Yeah.
Because that's
It's
all
not
they
the
know.
same.
All they know is being in the wild
They
and
need
having
it.
freedom. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's weird. Back to what you were saying about the AI thing too. Like, I think like the connection, because we said the connection between any living creature and another one is important. I think like I've gone back and forth with the AI connection because like there's apps and shit, and you can obviously like there's one called, I forget what it's called, but it's an AI app, and you can like get like a friend on it, and it's an AI, and it learns about you and interacts as you talk. So like you just go down this rabbit hole of having a full blown deep dive, whatever you want with this conversation with an AI, and it will intelligently real time respond with like what I understand is answers, follow up questions, like ideas.
Yeah.
Like for some people that's good, but it makes me very like.
Absolutely.
Makes me like, listen, guys. Any relationship that's external that you're so dependent upon that you need to feel complete, you got to readdress the situation. I feel like, because I sound like a broke. I say this every time I talk about this, but bro, if you don't have the foundational love for yourself, don't expect or desire the external love either, because it's built upon nothing. Because if you think about that, if you're gonna build a building, right, you don't start from the fucking 20th story of a building and expect it to be stable. You need actual ground. You need to dig it up. You got to put the cement in. You got to get the columns up. That starts with your own internalization of yourself and analyzing yourself and your own perspectives and ideas and love for yourself. Like you really just, it's not an easy task to actually truly fucking care about yourself. A lot of people think they do. Man, it's really important though, I feel like. So I just feel like that's just another example of people kind of just denying their own, like need for love by suppressing the lack of their own and looking for another source. And some people, they can't do humans. Some people are just socially awkward, or they just can't communicate, whatever the reason being. So they find the AI, but it's like, man, that could be dangerous because you're just suppressing shit. I feel like. You know, it's...
For some people, though, like, they don't care, and it doesn't matter that it's, like, you know what I mean, to them. It does matter to someone like me. It does matter to you, like, clearly. Like, but for some people, like, it's
I know.
It's like...
I've been there. I know. I understand the feeling, but it's just, it's so sad to me.
How do you think you go about starting to, like, if you want to start to dive deeper into finding yourself and loving yourself? Do you, like, have to sit down and spend time alone and think? Or do you just, like, have to, I mean, maybe at the end of every day, evaluate how things are just, like, do you set time aside? Like, how do you go about doing that, do you think, or beginning to do that?
I think it's pretty subjective based upon the individual. Like, you know, you can journal, you know, you can meditate, you can swim, you can exercise. I think the crucial thing is independence, though. Like, I think is you just got to be in your own head and really just, like, acknowledge things that happen and not suppress them. And when they come up to the surface, just be willing to fight that battle with them, man. Because, like, you know, you're playing with nuclear weapons if you suppress shit long enough, because what's going to happen is you're just going to have too much buildup, and it's just going to leak out slowly by slowly, you know. Nuclear weapons, it's not the blast that kill people, it's the radiation after. So, like, the initial blast, when you're, like, snap, it's, oh, that sucks. But then the drainage and the fumes after, you're like, oh, man, why'd I do that? I'm such a piece of shit. Oh, I feel bad. Everyone's mad. Then you start fucking going these fucking circles, and it's like, man, just sit down. Do whatever, do whatever the fuck you gotta do. Just really come to terms that you are human, and that you fuck up. And if you don't fuck up, you're not human. I mean, like the Buddha, he had a saying. It was like, life is suffering. A lot of people hear that, they're like, oh, that's nihilistic. No, that's fucking beautiful, bro. If you can realize that not everything is sunshine, you're gonna be miles ahead of where you were a day ago. Once you come to terms that not every second of every day is supposed to be great, I just think people expect greatness and perfection all the time from themselves and others, and it's like, that's not how it goes, man. Stop trying to fucking do that to yourself. Stop comparing yourself to other people. Compare yourself to you. Were you better than you were yesterday? No? Okay. What can you do tomorrow to get better? You know, you don't have to sit there and get all philosophical and fucking, you don't have to listen to hours of inspirational fucking videos. You can just sit there and be like, oh, I don't like this about myself. Okay, how can I change that? Real time deciding something you don't like about yourself and productively and efficiently and safely progressing in that area, that's fucking love. Because no one else doing that for you, bro. You know, whatever any psychologist or fucking any fucking person with a title says is bullshit, bro. Just fucking find something you don't like and just correct it. Whatever it takes, one step. You want to wake up earlier than do it, you know, like, no one's going to do it for you. You know, you're fat, get on fat. Like, I know it's not, it's just, oh, it's easy. It is easy. It really is. Like, yeah, you gotta change your diet. You gotta do things. So it's hard, but if you really just look at it, look how much time you have in life, man. It's fucking easy. Yeah. It's all in your head, bro. Your body's not gonna give out on you. If it does, well, fuck. Now you know what to do next time to not make it give out. You know, it's not that hard though.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's a lot, like everything you said, I needed to hear, and I can take away a lot from that.
It's all love.
Just because, you know, I've struggled, just like exactly what you said at the start of that, just like being in my head way too much and really stressing on things that, like, have already happened, like, and just not living in the present enough, and just dwelling on things that are just, like, pointless. It's like okay, I made a mistake, like, okay, like, does it matter? No. It's like, can I change and do anything better the next time? Absolutely. So there's really no point to just living, like, with holding things inside, because eventually things are going to come out eventually. They do for me, whether it's, like, in a good way or not. It's going to come out, so might as well just...
How do they come out for you when what happens like that? How do you, like, personally, like...
Either, like, it leads to, like, moments of, like, feeling, like, extremely, like, down sometimes. Like, not, like, this isn't often, but, like, that's just what it leads to when, like, that stuff happens. And I'm much better at it now. Because, like, I didn't experience a lot of this stuff until, like, I was, like, only a few years ago, but then it's like over like time, it's like I've gotten better at dealing with stuff. But feeling extremely down, just like, and then kind of like freaking out, but then like there's a moment of clarity afterwards, and that's where like you just I rebuild from. Yeah, that's pretty much what happens. But you need, I don't know, for me, I've needed a lot of moments where I'm either feeling extremes, because then like I come back to earth, and I just, better myself. That's pretty much it. Yeah. I don't know exactly what else to add. It's just no, I really liked what you said, though.
I appreciate that. I mean, yeah, nothing I ever said or ever will say is anything new. I mean, literally nothing. That's the thing. Everything I've ever said, if I can think of these things and realize them for myself, I guarantee you every human on Earth can do the same thing. Because, like, I am no way any more sophisticated. I'm nothing compared to anybody else. I'm equal as fuck of everybody. That's the thing. It's, like, it's not that hard. Like, when I'm like, exercise isn't that hard. You want your fat, lose weight, it's not that hard. Like, yeah, I know how it sounds as face value, but really think about it. It's not that hard. Right. Once you change your mindset of this is it now and there's no other way, it's inevitable. Yeah. Like, it's really, you can't fucking fuck up. Because if you do fuck up, you learn from it. Is that a fuck up if you learn from something? No, it's a lesson. Yeah. It's mindset, man.
You can apply that to literally anything. If someone says like, no, losing weight isn't like that easy, it's like, well, apply it to like literally do it, like waking up earlier. It's like you act on it, but it's like you just take steps and just get better little by little. It's the same thing. You could apply it to anything. Just making that change.
Yep.
Just it's your mindset too, which I don't know. That's a thing on its own. It's like you have to become mentally strong too. If you're not a mentally strong person, if you don't have discipline, then it's really tough to actually make changes. Because I don't know. I'm not a completely fully disciplined person myself. So
I don't think anybody's fully.
Yeah.
I think it's increments. Aside from like maybe David Goggins or Cameron Haynes. Right. I don't know if many people are actually truly disciplined.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. That dude Cameron Haynes, I woke up on Easter and he had a video of him running a fucking hike on a mountain, and I was like, fuck, dude. It's Easter.
This guy is, what is it, YouTube is he on?
He's like a hunter type of guy, like a personality
what is
type
it?
of guy. I follow him on Instagram.
Oh, he puts content on Instagram?
Dude, he runs, though.
Is it like real time? He like woke up Easter morning, like...
Oh, yeah. He's just running. He's like, there's a video, he's like, hope you guys aren't wasting the day today. And I was like, fuck, I am wasting the day. I gotta
follow this guy. I need to see that.
Yeah. If you look at my Instagram feed, brother, I swear to God, it's literally just quotes, like news, conspiracies, and inspiration. Because like I feel like if you're not gonna do these things, if you actually want to do these things and make it in yourself, find it in yourself, but then reinforce your fucking idea and projection of everything you obtain in the world. Like, you have to be constantly surrounded with shit if you want to fucking fully immerse in it. Mm-hmm. You can't be like a fucking, oh, I'm a good person, but then literally hang out with 30, like, murderers. Like, what's going to happen? There's that saying, like, oh, if you hang out with 10 millionaires, you're going to be the 11th. Like, yeah, what you do and surround yourself with, it's going to happen, dog. It's just how it works. Mm-hmm. But it's like... Yeah, the discipline's the hardest part. Like, on anything, that's the hardest part, but it's also the easiest. Because it's like an oxymoron or whatever the fuck the word is.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah. Because it's so easy, yet it can be hard. And it is, but
I think it's easy when you realize you're the protagonist, but it's hard when you stay in the antagonist mindset. You
have to remember, it's like you're fully in control of everything. Yep. You do. You're fully, like, you make the choice. It's not like you do anything. It's like you do everything because you choose to do it. So, yeah, I love that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, your past isn't who you are. It's part of you. Like, what your future isn't who you are. It's part of you. Like, you are who you are right now. You are who you are in your mind. No one on earth knows you even 1,000,000% as much as you know yourself. I mean, you can literally spend an exorbitant amount of time with someone every day from the day you're born to the day you die. They'll never even get a glimpse of knowing the full you because they're not there literally 24/7. And that goes over people's head. I feel like you gotta realize this. You've been there with yourself every fraction of a second since the second you were conceived. And you will be until the second you pass on. That's fucking beautiful, man. Imagine spending that much time with a human being, but never fully coming to terms with loving that human. Imagine me and you, right? We were literally everything we ever did, ever. We've never once for a second been separated. We've done every activity for 22 years, every second, never ever left for even a fraction of a second. You know how crazy it would be for me to not love you at that point? Or have respect for you? Or appreciate you? But people fucking do it to themselves, you know?
Wow.
I mean, simple terms, but it's just like, that's how it is.
Absolutely.
Again, man,
I love thinking about things like this.
You gotta, man, because,
you know,
it's, no one's doing it for you. That's just all it is, man. You know, no one's doing it for you, man. It's, you know, you gotta live life as a tourist, you know, like if you're a tourist on a vacation, you go to Rome or something, I bet you, if you stay in Rome for a week, you probably do more activities and see more monuments and crazy sights than people who've been living there for a decade. Because you know your time is finite. You know in a week's time, you're not gonna be there. People are always like, I got time. Bro, here's the fucking thing. You got like a couple thousand weeks in your life. Seriously, like there's like, what are you, 4,000 or 5,000 weeks? If you're 6 if you're really lucky.
Sure.
Why the fuck don't we think about that? Life's long, but it's really short at the same time. Like there's a duality to that shit. And like, you know, tourists, they don't waste that time by fucking dicking around. You don't go to Rome and just lay in bed all day. You don't go to Rome and just go to the park with your friends, or you know, you go on vacation and you get done what you
get after it, honestly,
to make those memories and accomplishments.
Yeah.
So why the fuck don't we all live as tourists all the time, bro? Goddamn.
You know, that makes me want to like bring up one of these points.
Please.
But I want to get the first one out of the way first.
Okay.
And that's just eating healthy.
Yep.
Because it was like the first thing I wrote down, first thing I thought about. I just like there's obviously the benefits of eating healthy, but then like the way that the body feels just from like putting good stuff into it compared to bad stuff, it's like speaks for itself.
Volumes.
Speaks for itself. I love eating healthy.
I've come to love it. You know, as everything I hated at first, but I've come to enjoy it. You know, it's... What is your definition of healthy? Like, what's your typical day look like diet-wise?
Because I feel like I'm like kind of like a 2-meal kind of guy.
Yeah.
And I don't like... I'm not like... I just eat however much like my body... Like I have ideally a little bit of yogurt in the morning. Maybe some berries.
Mm-hmm.
Probably don't have berries because like I usually don't. But like usually got some yogurt.
Yeah.
Then maybe like around lunchtime, like a soup and a salad, maybe a sandwich, maybe 2 out of those 3.
Well, combinations ain't hurt.
Probably don't have a salad, but I probably can make a sandwich.
Yeah.
And probably heat up some soup, and then for dinner, whatever. Just like, ideally not any like. And if all that food if dinner's like, pretty healthy, like got a protein, got vegetables.
Yep.
I haven't been eating a lot of vegetables. I'll be honest, and. I wish I was. You
know what's an easy way to do it? Spring mixes. It's like just a fuck ton of lettuce. It's like kale, lettuce, like spinach, collard greens.
Do you get it like from the Stop and Shop?
I get it Stoppy. It's like $4 for a container this big. I'll show you.
Is it? You put it in the fridge? Or
Yeah.
Is it okay, fridge.
I mean, you could probably leave it out, but it'll probably just go bad quicker. But yeah, dude, I bang it out every day. It's mad easy. You don't even think of it. It's just if you can eat lettuce, you can do it. And it's just mad shit, you know. It's.
Do you do a big breakfast?
I don't eat breakfast.
Don't eat breakfast at all.
I go
nothing.
6 out of 7 days for the last month and a half mainly. I've been going no eating for 12 to 14 hours. So I've been intermittent fasting up until about 2 to 3 o'clock every day, 6 days a week. And then I have a salad for lunch, like late lunch before the gym, and then I'll come home and have a very big dinner.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it. And
Nice.
maybe I'll snack like
Nice.
a couple times a week, but I'm trying to limit the snacking too because it's not necessary. I don't need it. It's just the urges.
On days when I do like one big meal, I feel just as fine. I feel like
Yeah, man.
as long as like I don't, maybe I'm not sticking to like a fasting
Yeah.
thing that you're doing. Like I'll probably have a little like I'm a light thing in the like a little bit in the morning. I can't do a big thing. But,
Yeah.
like, do you want to stick to this? Like,
Absolutely.
are you loving
for the rest
this?
of my life?
Really?
Like I never want to
Wow.
go back. No, I
That's-
literally never want to go back ever. I never do. Never. Like until the
So-
day I die, I want to
Okay.
stick with this until the day I die.
Right.
I want to improve it any way I can.
Yeah.
So I'm actively, fucking with
Yeah.
it. But I never ever want to switch this up.
Do you drink like water in the morning?
I drink about 2 gallons a day. Yeah, just to be honest, yeah. Which might be too much, but it's like the only thing I drink. I drink water, a protein shake, and I have a black coffee because you can have a black coffee or tea while fasting because it has like it fits in the fast model. So I have a black coffee in the morning, and then I just drink water throughout the day.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it sucks sometimes, but it feels good though. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, but from that, bro, the effects I'm feeling are fucking insurmountable. Like I feel like I'm on Adderall pretty much every day for the most part of the day. I'm not even kidding, and like I don't even take Tylenol. Like I don't do anything. I smoke weed, and that's legit it. I drank one since November, and I fucking hated it. But I don't like taking shit like that. But like, yeah, dude, like I just feel like I'm always fucking wired. And like I don't know if it's the fasting or if it's like the exercise. It's probably all of it combined. It's
Right.
what I've been trying to do
Right.
and to get better with. But yeah, man, I can't argue results. And obviously, it's not medical advice for anyone. You do what the fuck you gotta do. I'm not a doctor, but for me, I fucking love it, bro. Love it. I take Saturdays off though, cause like 7 days, it's a little much. I'll be
Absolutely.
honest.
Absolutely.
I'll be honest. Yeah.
Oh, I firmly believe that you should give yourself at least a day of rest.
Yeah, Saturday's been three meals,
Yeah.
pretty much, and like a snack or two. Like I'll just fucking eat, but it's yeah.
That's never had like a conversation like this with anyone who's ever like, because everyone's out here eating all day.
Yeah,
I do it.
it's so easy. Mindless eating, bro. That's what it is.
What I do is like at the end of the day, that's what gets me. I like sweets a lot. Like I like chocolate, like just straight up chocolate, and like ice cream. Like those are like my two things that I like. I love.
ice cream. I love it.
Have you had ice cream recently?
Yes, I
I
have it
love
at night sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love ice cream.
Yeah.
That's-
See, I fit it in.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
like,
good.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, I get the no fat, so it's like
What brand do you get?
Turkey Hill.
Oh.
It's like fat free.
Ooh.
It's no added sugar.
That's that gas.
Yeah, you can't beat it, bro. It's like
That's that
100
gas.
calories per 2/3 of a bowl. I'm like a Weibo type of guy right now.
God.
Like I'm not like a micro macro tracker, but I've been really like when I buy things, I only buy certain brands of stuff now.
Mhm.
Like vitamins, only take certain things. Like I'm very like anal on what I've been doing. And it's just like I need to,
Yeah.
I need to, because I gained 90 pounds in a year, so that was an eye opener. I was like, oh, that's not good. So I'll never do that again. Like yeah, that's the basis of it. It was just I got too fat too quick, and I was like, yo, that's crazy. This could never happen again. And yeah.
Do you want to know what the second point was? I was
Please,
thinking of.
brother, please.
Dude, this is something I've been getting into recently.
Okay.
And it's like something that is not talked about enough. Do you care saying like the town that we live in?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Because just being from Quincy never gets I feel like it doesn't get taught at all. Like I was never taught about any of this, but it's like the Native Americans that were living in Quincy
I know nothing.
like before like we live here now.
Yeah.
It's like sure, like you hear about the Wampanoags. That's what like in Plymouth when the English got there. It's like you kind of hear about like a little bit about that.
Yeah.
At least that was my experience, but like nothing about the actual people that were in Quincy.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, honestly.
And it's like why haven't we heard about it? And then it's like I just have been looking into it, and it's just like so interesting. I just feel like it should be talked about because like there's things like around us too that are tied to it that we don't even know about. And if we knew about it, we would remind us when we hear these like words. And it would be like, okay, well, like I'll get into it a little
hear
bit.
it, yeah.
I wrote some. This is like what I've written down.
Everyone watching, Doug has an extensive amount of notes with some doodles, and I fucking love it. Absolutely love it.
So it's estimated that the first peoples got here in the Quincy area between like 3,000 and 6,000 years ago.
Okay.
So like they were here for thousands of years before like English settlers got here. There was a glacier, like a massive glacier that went all like over Canada into
the ice
north,
bridge.
like yeah,
Right? Yeah.
and it was like it went all the way down like to like Cape Cod, pretty much all the way from the Arctic down to Cape Cod,
which is crazy.
and like a glacier, and then like it melted and like something about that made like the area like around here like there's you have like marshes around here, and like obviously it's right on the coast, like it made it like ideal for like natives to live, like it's rich in like you can farm here. There's like the quarries where like they got tools from, but
yeah, we have a pretty good resource filled area.
We really do.
Think about it, you know,
for like especially like for the ocean, the like fishing. Oh my god!
They must have shit themselves when they fucking saw the ocean and just all the. Because you gotta realize it was all woods too, so they were like, "Oh man, this is just fucking amazing."
Yeah, like lakes too. But like you get to this and it's like, oh, this ain't stopping. Like this doesn't stop.
Dog, imagine their expression when they're walking through the woods and then all of a sudden they just see a fucking ocean out of nowhere. Like the woods just
like
stop.
They
and there's
like
just
they
an
came.
ocean.
You know, they went into Alaska, right? Like.
Yep.
They're on that. They went over the bridge that was like frozen over, and then they proceeded to walk all the way here, over like thousands of years. But like they slowly were like, all right, we're gonna like keep going a little further. We're gonna like keep going. Like we're gonna like this is like this is cool. But like we're gonna like. Eventually, they got to the ocean.
Yo, is this speculative or is this a fact?
That had to, like, I haven't looked into that, but I feel that's had to have been what happened, because the land bridge, that's
it was
that's
there.
a fact.
There's evidence of it.
They know that's because like the testing DNA from like natives in North America, it's a match for like Asia, basically, like the early peoples, so it's like they know they came from Asia.
And it correlates with the ice age or whatever, with the ice bridge forming or whatnot.
It all happened like, I think like 15,000, I don't know, like 10,000 years ago or something. That's when it happened, and then they got here like 3,000 to 6,000. I mean, probably like 5,000 years ago. I think what I read was it was like 5,000. Like think about like while everything was happening over in Europe. Like whatever's going, it's like they were doing the same thing here for like 5,000 years, and then just like a boat showed up one day, like for 5,000 years, a boat shows up one day, everything's fucked up. Like, hey, in like 30 years, everything's fucked up.
It's like, oh, okay, we're gonna help these people. Oh, why? What, you're killing us? We just give you food. We taught you how to crop. We taught you how to live here, and you're gonna murder us now? Wow, okay. Fucking dark, man.
In 1999. Do you know Caddy Park? It's like Wollaston Beach. You're not going towards Squantum. You're going the other way, like where we were running.
With that parking lot and shit?
It's like the last parking lot before you're like at Furnace Brook and whatever. It's like the last one over there, right there. In 1999, they were renovating the playground right there, and they dug up over 100 buried native ceremonial objects, estimated to be 3,500 years old. And Jesus. It's like large blades, arrowheads, fishing nets, weights. Like they found like something that would be worn around the neck. They said it was like a once in like a century find. Like I don't know if that's for this area or like in general, but like. It was like a massive find, and it's like we don't hear anything about it. It's like we have no idea like that. Like there would be like I just wish they would have taken us to these areas and really showed us like what like they did, because what like this was like their summer living area, was like right around there, Broad Meadows area, like they went there in the summers and then they would have their summer housing. And then it got cold, they would go up to the Blue Hills because I guess it was safer living up there. So like
they went from Wally Beach to the Blue Hills.
They'd walk. They'd in like I think in the fall they'd be like, all right, we're like what they would do I think is they buried all their stuff in the ground. And then like eventually whoever buried all this stuff, they eventually because it was all together. They're thinking like, why is this all together? Like sure, it makes sense that like. That we would find some stuff, but why is there like 100 things like right here? So they think like our tribe buried them with intentions to come back, and they just never came back for whatever reason.
It's kind of ominous.
And like they know a lot about the way they lived, though. It's very interesting. They were like a matriarchal society, so like the women like did like so much. The men like hunted it and like fought other tribes if they had to. But the women did so much. When the English got here, this was like early 1600s. It's funny, like
1620.
The tribe, exactly, that was living here in Quincy was like the Neponset tribe. So it's like you hear like Neponset River, Neponset Bridge, but it's like you have no idea. It's like that was the tribe that was living here. So, like that would have been cool to know.
What?
When the English initially got here, it's estimated that boom, right when first contact was made, from that 75 to 85% of the natives got sick and died, boom, right, so now we're down to 25 a fourth is left by 1620. So it's they're already hurt. There was contact before that, I think, and that's how why so many were wiped out. And then when the English really came here in 1620, it's they were already hurting. And
when Columbus's little bitch racism ass came over here, what was that, 1400s? Did he come up here? Where did he fucking?
No, he stayed in. He went to the Bahamas. So it's he was in the Caribbean, went to different islands in the Caribbean, but he only stayed down there. Never came to mainland North America.
Gotcha.
But I don't exactly know what countries, but there was contact made. They came up the coast before, and made contact with natives, but they and that's what happened here. But they didn't settle yet. They that was it's probably 50 years or so before that ended up. Whether it was the Portuguese or the English or the Spanish, I don't know. But
I've heard the Chinese and the
the Vikings
tribes definitely came around here, these parts. That's what I've heard. I also heard something one time about the Templar Knights, the military of the church back in the day. I guess there's Templar symbolism found in remote areas in the U.S. that you're how the fuck did that happen? And I don't know. Again, I don't know enough about it, but I feel I remember hearing shit like that. But it's why not? Why do we think that? Why do we think it happened? I don't know. It's so weird.
Fun fact: the Blue Hills, we call them the Blue Hills. They call them the Massachusetts, and that's where Massachusetts comes from.
No fucking way,
Massachusetts meant the place of many great hills. So it's we don't even know that it's the Blue Hills. It's that's what they the name of the Blue Hills turned into the name of Massachusetts.
That just makes me feel happy. I don't know why. I just felt happy hearing that.
It's wow. People would be I think people would actually students would actually be interested in hearing about if it's oh, we hear about Plymouth, whatever. But it's if you learn about Quincy, it's that's interesting. I'd really be, because it's I'm hearing about places that I go to. So it's right by Broad Meadows is where the the head of the tribe they were called sachems.
Okay.
The sachem, when the English got here, his name was Chickatawbit. And I know there's a Chickatawbit lane in Marymount or something. So it's if I was living on that street, that would be sick. But
you're
I'm
fucking
not.
balls deep in this. Oh, that gets
dude.
me excited that you're so into that. That's awesome,
dude,
bro.
And they lived right near Broad Meadows. The names are really funny. And it's that's where his mother was buried there, so they suspect that he was born there. And that was because I guess there was a few different tribe areas. Like there was like maybe like around like Boston, Quincy, all the way down to Cape Cod, and like up to like Salem. They had like a bunch of different like tribes that like were independent. But this guy was like the head of like all of them, and he was like from Broadmeadows, and he was the head of the Neponset. People.
So were they kind of like primitive like North American city states in a way then?
Yes, like
kind of expand one centralized group kind of spread out,
yes,
kind of independently governing under
it's
one
like
rule.
It's not too big. It's like from Salem down to like I think Plymouth around there.
Bro, that's pretty big though.
And like kind of like it kind of is, and all the way towards big. Like inward towards like close to Worcester almost. So you got like 40 miles, honestly, inland.
Dude,
and, like,
Salem to Plymouth's an hour drive.
Yeah.
That's like a 5 to 7 hour walk.
Yeah.
Maybe longer.
So, and it's like, but they weren't like huge cities or nothing, I don't think. I think like there was like maybe a few hundred people max, I think, for these places.
Interesting. I didn't even think there were that many. I thought they were kind of like hunter-gatherer type of things, like 10 to 20 people.
Right, yeah.
I thought was my assumption.
Yeah.
Because you hear about them battling one another. It never seems like, again, I don't know shit.
Yeah, but
apparently.
battling was actually like pretty, like especially out west for those like Native Americans out west, like they had actual wars. Like it was insane. I don't think they were as violent here, but it still like happened. And like I know in Virginia when the English like did Jamestown and like that place, like there was
that's crazy.
They had like a bigger like system of like network of like there was like tens of thousands of like natives living in under the same ruler there.
Wow.
So
in cooperation
it wasn't
with
like
the English too? Like they agreed with that?
It wasn't one city, it was just like, but this guy, they were like the English met with the rule, like the head of all these people, like, and they had a relationship with them. I don't know how the people felt about it. I don't know how they dealt with it, but
the people as in the English settlers. Or
I mean, like the
natives?
the natives.
Okay,
like I don't know, like and then once the English got here, though, in like 1629, the king was like, all right, we're like, they didn't know what to do initially at first about them. And then he was like, in 1629, he's like, you can do whatever you want, like, to get rid of them. It's like, he was like, at first, I think they were thinking about what to do, and now they're like, all right, we don't care about them. Like, you can just honestly, like, you can kill them. There's like, you can kill as many of them as you want, natives. And it's like, you're not going to get punished by us at all. Like, England, like, you're fine to do whatever. So it's like, they started to, like, I think, the Sachem Chickatawbit gave the English like some land. They were like, and I think he expected he saw it as like they would pay him tributes, but like they saw it as like he was just giving them land. And like that started like some disputes, and eventually like, and this is messed up, but like
it's all fucking messed
up.
up.
The people that live now, like the survivors of the Massachusetts, because there are survivors of the tribe that are around today, they believe that the English, after like there were disputes, they handed out small like blankets with smallpox, like the classic, like they like that's like they believe like that's exactly what was done to like these people, and it infected like what was already like they were already damaged from like years ago. They like their numbers were already dwindling from disease. Smallpox, they think it was smallpox, wiped out like, and it was around like mid 1620s, and then so he took everyone. Chickatawbit, he was still like alive.
He survived the smallpox.
Yeah, he saw what was happening, and all the people that weren't infected, even like they didn't even bury the dead. They were like, he took everyone that was still healthy, took them all to, if you're going out to Swanham, like and right when you get on the causeway, if you look to the right across from Ayers. Dunkies, there's like a wooded area right there. He took everyone right there and was like, that's where they lived for like the next like 10-15 years. And then like there's no like records of what happened after that. They think like that might have just been it. But
what do you mean that's it?
Like the Sachem died, Chickatawbit, and like I think most of the people might have just like not like they went to like they went inland, I think is what I read.
Join up
It was
with
like,
other
yeah, they were
tribes.
like, we have to like this what we had is like gone now. We just have to go like find refuge with like other people. So it's like there's no more records of like these people at all. It's like that's kind of like they were wiped out by like 1635. At least here they were like that was it. And then like the white settlers moved in here, and they've been in Quincy since like the 1640s. So like ever since at that point though, like the natives were like already inward. They moved to like just the Blue Hills, I think, after that, like year round kind of like. Now they didn't really come back here to the like the ocean after being here for like 5,000 years, and it's like now they're, you know. But it's really interesting. I don't know. I just like been looking into it, and it's just like would have been cool to like have taken a field trip, get to like explain some of the stuff, but you just don't hear about it. And I don't know if there's like, I just feel like why not, you know?
Honestly, and I know this is just like people are just gonna roll their eyes. I think it's just whitewashing a history.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a person who is, you know. Honestly, if you know me, you know I don't do that shit. That's literally what it seems like to me, though. It seems like we don't want to acknowledge the atrocities we committed on these literally native people, stealing their land, raping their women, killing their children, enslaving their warriors, for nothing in return. And I think it's just like, oh, it happened. We don't have to talk about that. Like, yeah, it's a dark part in history, you know. White man took it over. It's like, no, like, dude, like, we need to realize these things.
Yeah.
Like, we hyperfixate on, like, the downfall of Rome, or the, you know? Like, we do all these fucking things. We talk about all these world wars before. Why the fuck don't we talk about the origination of this country in actual extent? We talk about the colonists and the fucking Puritans and all that shit.
Yeah.
Why the
It's like,
fuck,
why not
man?
just pay respect to the people that, like, we're at least here. Like, we're actually here. It's like, we don't have to talk about, like, any other, like, we don't have to talk about the people in North Dakota or whatever. It's like, we can just talk about this, but it's just like...
Because this is, like, everywhere.
Yeah.
The story that we're talking about happened fucking
exactly.
everywhere.
It's like, you don't have, it's like, I get, like, you're following, like, a curriculum, so, like, if they probably don't want, like, I don't know why we really don't, like, know the full, like, I at least didn't know, like, the full extent of, like, the atrocities that were committed, like, until, like, kind of high school, college, and then it's like, oh, like, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean...
Because then you relearn about Columbus, and it's like, oh...
One of the worst people I've ever fucking learned about in my life. Like, absolute horrible human being. Fucking... We have a holiday after this fucking cunt, too.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
They changed the name, though, I think.
Indigenous People Day.
I think it's
as
like
they
they fully
fucking
changed
should.
the name, absolutely.
Because that guy was a fucking tyrannical fucking overlord of foreign nations when he fucking went places. And he fucking enslaved, raped, and pillaged everybody he saw for zero reason except pure satisfaction. Like, he truly enjoyed what he was doing. Like, he was a fucking psychopath. Like, he took pride in... There's, like, hand accounts of his people who were with him and shit. He'd be like, he gets, like, too much joy out of this shit. Like, that's fucking crazy, bro. That's like that King of England who would, like, fucking cut his wife's head off every time he got a new wife or something. It's like, these people, like, what? Yeah. There's just some people who are fucked. We don't give that fucking guy a holiday, though. No. But, man, it's...
Can I go to the bathroom?
Absolutely, yeah. Let's pause this up real quick.
Right.
I got questions when we get back, too.
I do, too.
I got fucking questions.
How long have we been going for? I'd get the second half started.
Yeah.
In a funky way.
All right, so our bitch-ass bladders were emptied. And now...
Feels great.
We're back at it. Okay, dude. So... Okay. I don't remember where we left off. I remember I had questions, though. Can I shoot some fucking questions at you? First of all, too, I want to find, like, a native elder or someone very knowledgeable in Native American history in this area.
I would love
fucking have a crazy conversation with them. And if I ever do... Please come and do it with me. That would make my day. But what the fuck? What were the indigenous animals at the time to this area? Like, I know there's turkeys. I know there's like shit like that. But like, what were they eating and sustaining themselves off of for 5,000 years plus?
So fun. Like, it says, like, when I read about it, like, it constantly says like whaling / fishing. So I think like whales. Full-on whales washing up. Like, I don't think they... Because I was so confused by it at first. I think, like what? Whaling was, like... I don't think they actually caught whales or, like, killed whales. Because, like, I don't know. Like, if they did, holy crap. But like,
I don't know
how
how
are
that's
you?
possible.
How are you bringing in a whale? Like after you
Yeah.
kill it, like okay.
Yeah.
But I think like whale, it was like not uncommon for a whale to like wash up, and like they would like have these long blades were discovered, so that they would cut open whales or like big old fish like sturgeon. Like it's hard to imagine what it was like. I want to look into the wildlife more, like for mammals. The birds were probably similar. I don't know though. Imagine
There was tons of birds though, huh?
there was definitely like turkey,
There's turkey everywhere around
Yeah.
here, so that's a given.
obviously like fox, deer. I don't think
You eat
coyote-
fox though?
They probably did. Rabbits, squirrels, definitely. The women trapped small game. Like they did a lot of like the rabbits, squirrels, probably like other like there's like what do you call it? I don't know, like the ground squirrels, like little woodchucks.
Okay,
like
yeah,
those.
yeah.
There's beaver around here. I forgot. There's
Really?
Oh yeah.
Blue Hills?
Yeah, you got beaver. And then like for the water though, like I think like there used to just be like lobster everywhere, like shellfish everywhere. Fish, like fishing was like they spent the summers here like right on the water is where they lived, and they would just like fish, and that was like probably like over half their diet was fishing. And it was probably like delicious. Like
It
oh
makes
my
sense too
God.
because there was no fishing vessels, there was no overfishing, there was
like,
no bullshit. You were just having
no bullshit.
a plethora
Like
of food.
just like they could never do enough to like impact the environment in any way.
No way. And
It's-
natives would use every like head to
Yeah,
tail,
oh,
right? Like
yeah.
they would use every
Totally
single,
sustainable.
Yeah.
Like they're part of the ecosystem. Like it's crazy. Like the way we live,
It's not natural.
it's not, and like it's not like sustainable.
It's parasitic.
Like, yeah. But like for them, like they're part of nature. Like nature will go on forever, and like they're just part of it. And like it's just crazy to think about that. That's really what Earth Day is all about. You know, living with the Earth. Shout out Earth Day,
Shout out Gaia.
dude. They probably just there's no bullshit in their diet too. Like their diet, just hell. Like they were big on like they had big fields of like squash, beans. What else did they? Corn. They did corn, and the women owned the fields too. It says the women owned the homes and the fields,
Wow.
and so like
Huh.
the men they took that's what they didn't just like do this shit, like they owned it. So it's like I guess like if a man like wanted like something, like they would have to like go through a woman, I think is how like what that means.
So there was no like, oh, I like your second daughter, Chief. Can I
I
buy
know,
her
right?
off you?
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because that's how it basically was in England and shit.
Yeah.
You know, you would just get to know families and like
Yeah.
be like, oh, I make sales. Oh, you make sales? Well, guess what? I make rope. Your son, my daughter. You know, that's how shit went for a
Yeah.
while. It was like just setting up lineages and fucking trades, man. And we like to look at them like they're more like civilized. You know, bloody cunts. That's what they are. That's my bad British accent.
Bloody cunt. Have you ever seen the movie Apocalypto? It's like about like it's like Mexican natives living like in Mexico, like 1400s, right before the Spanish got there, like the conquistadors, as they say. But it was about like when you think of like the Mayans, I think it was Mayans.
Mayans were
Like when you
Mexico,
think of like that culture and like the people that lived in like probably the central city that they had like a city, I forget the name, but like they
Pizza or something like that.
it is something, yeah.
think.
It's like very similar to, yeah. They
Sorry,
had-
if that offended you. That was a butcher, probably.
no,
yeah.
but that
Pizza maybe.
there
or
was like
some
a
bullshit?
big, like that's the city, and like I think people that lived in the city, they'd send out warriors, men, to go capture natives, just living like minding their own business around. So it's like natives capturing other natives, and then like they bring like the one they kill they trash the village, burn it down, but like they take some people to be sacrifices.
That's my next question.
So yeah, they like that's who like they're like captives of other native tribes are sacrifices. So it's like I don't know if like people might have this idea too that like natives were always like peaceful with one another.
I feel like the Aztecs. Yeah.
That is not true for a lot of places. I think here it was like okay. I don't think it was like war was like huge here. I know like out west with like the Sioux, like there's the Cheyenne. I forget the name right. The Comanche. Yeah. They were like in West Texas. Like
dude, there's like books about
they
them.
Were like
they were
brutal. Like it's. I mean, I love it, but like crazy.
Makes for good storytelling, and then you humanize and you're like, oh fuck, these people existed.
Yeah, it's like they battled and like behaved in the same ways, just like Europeans did or Asians did, and it's all the exact same.
Yep. I call it the Genghis Khan model. Just pillage and spread your seed everywhere.
If the Europeans didn't eventually come, I think it would have been a long time, but eventually someone else was coming over here.
Inevitable.
It's just like I feel like you can't deny that. Like I just feel like that would happen. Like there's no way that doesn't happen. But it could be true that if the Europeans didn't come and another nation, peoples came, maybe they would have treated like the relationship with the natives would have been like maybe they would have had different motives for being here. Maybe it's just exploration. Maybe they're just being like, whoa, this is cool.
That's the thing. Imagine if we could like see a parallel history of where we decided to be civil and coexist with said people. Like, hey, this is your land. Is there anywhere that we can settle for now? Where we can provide and be like, hey, what can we benefit you? We got gunpowder. We got coffee.
But maybe it's not guaranteed that it would happen at this. Like, obviously, nothing's impossible. So like, because the way that these people lived here, there's nothing in them. There's no part of like any way they live that's like we want to go like sail like go like and take over more territory. They just like they live right here and they never want to like leave. Like they know exactly what they're doing and there's nothing like in them that's like we want to go like take.
They're nomadic. They're not in a modern sense. They're not materialistic. They just have what they needed to survive. And more than enough.
They were doing it for 5,000 years in the same way. So it's like, I think it's fair to say that it would have gone on for 100,000 more years, if possible, if like nature allows it, and they would have been living the exact same way.
Yeah.
Like. But like, why is that not the case though for like peoples that are from Mesopotamia? Like those people are like these people are all like oral stories. Like they start like writing stuff down and like
Mesopotamia.
All of a sudden like
very fucking quickly they decided, okay, we're gonna actually keep track of things and be an advanced civilization for no reason.
And it's like all of a sudden now we're on track to being an advanced civilization. And it's like that with that
I think that connects with the natives in a sense because I've heard of a lot of folklores. I don't know the legitimacy and authenticity of the shit, but tribes specifically, like not all of them I think, but specific tribes would be like, oh yeah, we're the descendants of star people. Like we came, our ancestors came from outer space, we came from above and shit like that. So that's like, oh man, because again, this is the part where I think it's all I really think it's systemically driven, because if this was happening in Ireland, if Irish people or fucking German people were like, oh yeah, our ancestors came from outer space. If they wholeheartedly said that and backed that the way some native tribe members do and have in the past, people would be like, oh shit, really? Tell me more. But when natives say it, I feel a lot of people are like, oh, okay, buddy, yeah. I don't know. I think it's just ignorance, but I think it's also systemically driven into people. Like, listen, they were very rudimentary people. They didn't do anything really great. I could just be blinded to the notion. Maybe people were listening and be like, no, like, you're an idiot. Like, I know all this stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about what people think I know. But I think a lot of people just don't fucking know this stuff. I really don't. So I think I think it's intentionalized. I really do. I said it earlier. I think it's just to not shine light on the atrocities that were committed and shit like that. But I think there's more to it in a sense in some ways. That shit hits you though, huh?
Oh yeah. All right, I have to do like one more cough.
Disposable.
I have to do like one more. I feel like it's really important to teach that too, because it says so much more than just like, you're not just talking about like, I don't know, there's so much to take away from it. It's like it's more than just like the story of Europeans coming here. It's like, no, like you can see it like modern day with like things. It's like China's about to go into Taiwan. Russia be feeling threatened by Ukraine. They doing some shit right now.
The U.S. sees money everywhere from all these things.
Didn't know.
Shit like that.
Biden just signed something. Now they're giving like 800 million or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
I think the total is like over $1 trillion
relief.
for the relief
Oh
package. I believe.
God.
Yeah. They can just print it out. It's no problem. That's how currency works.
So
we can just print money. It
So
doesn't affect anything.
I've recently gotten hip to the fact that the Federal Reserve is like a scam. It's like
it's a corporation.
It's
an
like
independent corporation.
Yes.
That has no actual connection to the
and
government.
I'm like, oh shit! Like I didn't know that, and
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, my, and it was like formed by like a few guys. They were like, what, we're gonna do this, and it's like, yo, like, is this allowed? And then they're like, we're just gonna, and then we just print money today.
I think back in the day there was Federalists and there was Anti-Federalists. Thomas Jefferson was an Anti-Federalist. He was Anti-Federalist.
Right. Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this was
Oh,
going
really?
back.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Wow.
This institution and this whole fucking bullshit scam of this fiat fucking slavery held over the head of everybody.
Yeah.
This has been there, man. This has fucking been there, bro. This has fucking been there. We can't just live like Native Americans lived, Doug, because what would happen? We'd be uncivilized. How can we ever do it? You know, we've been fucking lied and told that we can't just do things because of the way things are now, dude. You know, we just get fucked in the ass and they tell us it is how it is and there's no other way around it. You know, oh, you don't like it? Well, guess what? Inflation's going to keep rising. What, we at like 8.5%, 10% or some bullshit like that? Last time I checked, it was over like 8%. That's fucking nuts. That's nuts. It doesn't take you to be an economist to know that's fucking crazy. I mean, you can see it in the products shrinking, the size of things you buy shrinking. You can see it in inflated gas prices. You can see it in the cut in your paycheck, the increase of taxes. You see it everywhere, bro. You know what happens during these things, bro? The rich people, nothing against rich people. I'm for capitalism. The rich people are just getting ridiculously more wealthy. And the middle class becomes merging with the lower class. And there becomes no middle class. Like, this is literally like no new information. This is just what's happening, bro.
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's happening before our eyes.
Yeah, man.
Do you think we're approaching like some sort of like a recession in the very near future?
Turn around and look. Yeah, I do. I have a stockpile of food. Yeah, I have precious metal. I have a fuck ton of water. I have I don't think it's gonna go well. My freezer's full of frozen veggies.
My dad thinks the same thing. He's like, what? He's like, rightfully so, honestly, because
dude, people will fucking kill each
just
other if
worried.
this happens. If this legit happens, people will fucking turn homicidal in the blink of an eye. People will look at other people as if they're their enemy. Because that's what has to happen. That's what people instinctively do when shit really hits the fan. If there's no money, there's no food, if there's no clean water, if there's no medicine, people are gonna fucking freak out and start killing and robbing people. Like, this isn't like science fiction. This will happen. Like, not everybody, but enough people to be like, oh fuck, I don't want to leave my house. You know, like, I don't, oh, but it can't happen here. We're the greatest country on earth. By what fucking metric, bro? You know, I'm fucking sick of this patriotism, fucking nationalist bullshit, man. Stop fucking being excited that you were born on a piece of fucking rock, man. Grow the fuck up. Like, what are we doing? oh, but we're America. We're number one. Well, guess what? We're assholes. We're ignorant, materialistic pieces of shit as a collective. We don't give a fuck about anybody but ourselves for a collective. We start foreign wars. We don't do it. Our government does it, but guess what we do? We give them all the money to do it.
Right.
So, like, we're equally responsible in a way. As a collective. I don't want to say everybody, but, like, yeah, I've given up. I don't watch the news anymore. I get politics from just, like, literally the most uncredible news sources in the world. Like, not credible like CNN or Fox, uncredible, like just, like, independent news and shit. I gave up. I gave up with all of it. I can't do it anymore. It's fucking maddening, bro. All you think about is how we're all gonna be dead and sad. You're gonna be fucking. It's so depressing. Yeah. I can't do it. I do it. Like I'm not like blinded, but I do it in moderation, man.
Yeah.
I used to go balls to the wall just all the time. I can't do it anymore, man. What do you think's happening? You say your dad's like prepping and shit, kind of.
He's not like prepping. He's just like he sees like what's like. He's just like this isn't like. This can't go on forever. The way they print money, and it's just like,
yeah.
He's like, why? He just, I don't know if he's just realized like he's known about the like what's going on with the Fed like longer than I have. I just learned about it. With inflation though, and just like how much money is being like not spent in like. It's being spent in like ways that's only gonna harm us.
Absolutely.
And he's like, this is just terrible. It's like he just thinks like we're gonna see another like collapse, and it's like he's just worried about his money that's in the stock market and his 401k because like he doesn't have enough time to like rebuild after like you know what I mean? If he loses a shit ton, like he just doesn't have time to like come back. He's already like 60, so it's like he's gonna have to work till he's fucking dead if if shit goes bad. So that's
you have to think these things. I'm just
no
saying,
yeah
I'm not
no yeah
I never go on my phone. I'm actually
no I know
but,
I know that yeah
dude, like that's the thing, like you can feed all the assets you want. If it goes down, it goes down, you know. And it's like, oh, do you overreact and impulse buy a bunch of stuff? Or like, do you know? But you like you said, he's 60.
He thinks the dollar might just like collapse, and we like well like it'll be like I don't know what's gonna happen if that was to happen. But
let me read these articles to you. 80% of all U.S. dollars in existence have been printed in the last 18 months. That's by the Free Thought Project. Here's tech startups. 40% of all U.S. dollars in existence were printed in the last 12 months. Here's another one. As of March 2021, COVID totals cost $5.2 trillion. World War II cost $4.7 trillion in today's dollars. We spent more money fighting COVID than World War II. So, I just... here's another one. FOX. I don't know what these fucking outlets are. Listen, we've printed an exorbitant amount of money in a short amount of time. Okay, here we go. Here's a good one. $27 billion on average were printed per day in 2020. So do with that as you will. $27 billion a day for a year on average. If any human being on Earth wants to look me in the eyes and tell me that's a good thing, I'm done. I'll just stop. I just won't do it anymore. I'll never talk about it again. Because if anybody truly thinks that's a beneficial thing, you are fucking delusional. Everyone's all excited about their $1,200 stimuluses. Yeah, what you don't know is that you're going to be literally paying that back for the next 50 years. Because they printed the money.
Yeah.
The money didn't exist.
Exactly. Like, this is what I didn't understand this concept until like my dad put me on. It's like, holy shit. Like,
bro, yeah.
It's like all this money is now like and it's just like you can't like what do you do? Like you're you already did you're done.
You
like,
can't just take it out of circulation
like,
because that's also bad.
Yeah.
Because then everyone loses money.
Yeah.
And it also it's
Dude, what it is we used to be backed on the fucking gold standard. We were backed up by the Fort Knox Reserve of U.S. gold, and then for some fucking reason, I forget what the reason was. I think it was a war or some shit. I don't even remember. We just got off of it, and then since then, we're backed by nothing except hope and imagination. That's literally... Imagine doing a business contract with Apple, right? Like, you're Apple, and you're going to sell the company for $5 trillion. But you do the deal on a handshake. That's what we do with the U.S. dollar. We went from having a contract, which was gold. There's this much gold, therefore there's this much money. To back up physical money. They got rid of that and said, you know what? We're just going to rip up the contract. We'll shake on it. So you just sold Apple on a handshake. With no lawyers. You know, it's so fucking crazy, man. It's so crazy. I'm fucking working 48 hours a week on paper. Just to fucking... for what? You know, like... I don't know, man. I like having money, but what the fuck's the point if I'm paying $4.50 for a gallon of gas? It's down now, honestly, but you know what I mean? Like, it was up there.
We don't need a lot of money, but everyone needs some money, I feel like.
Because of the society we've decided upon.
Exactly. We honestly don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We don't.
I mean, the alternative's kind of like, you know, it's like any anarchism or it's like or it's a socialist type of thing. So I don't know enough about anarchism. I know enough about socialism.
I have a really good interview. Not interview, but just like hearing a story from this guy who's considers himself an anarchist, but it's not like he's out here conspiring to
Is
like...
he famous? Or do you like know him?
No, he's not famous. He's just like some guy that's it was soft white underbelly that it's like that this YouTube channel.
Oh, okay, cool. If you want to send me the link, I'll legit check that out after this.
He goes by Dirt. He's just like some guy that
His name's Dirt, Joe Dirt.
His childhood wasn't the whole, like, could have been worse, but it wasn't great.
Yeah.
So it's like he has reasons for, you know, he wasn't like always. There's a lot of people on the channel like go through a lot of trauma when they're growing up, but he just doesn't. He shoplifts. Like, he has no problem. Like, he said he won't take from like a mom and pop like little shop they got going. Like but with corporations, like, he has no problem like going in there. He goes in with like a bag of that store already. Normally he'll just go to the like throw a bunch of stuff in the bag, 2 bags, whatever. He goes to like the counter where they sell like scratch tickets or whatever, picks up like a scratch ticket, gets a receipt for it, then just like walks out. Or just like walks out anyway, just like whatever. But he steals like almost every day a week. He said he's never gotten caught, except he's gotten tapped on the shoulder like twice. And when that happens, he just like runs out. Like he just has no like. He said like people get caught because like once like someone taps on their shoulder, they're like they know they're doing something wrong, and then they're like, oh, I have to like. But he's like he doesn't care about anything. Like I really had to be like, wow, this guy doesn't care about anything. The way he lives, he doesn't like, he doesn't like care like about what anyone thinks. So he's like, if he wants to sleep like literally like on the sidewalk, he'll do it. Like, because he just doesn't like care. He has a baby on the way now though, so he's like, it's about to like fuck up everything. Like everything that society is like, basically pressuring you into, like anything, like he's like he wants no boundaries, no rules whatsoever. It's like that's the way he lives. He's like, I'm gonna live like fuck everything we've ever been told. It's like I'm just gonna do exactly what I want. But now he has this kid on the way where he's like he doesn't like he's like conflicted because he's like you have to like tell the kid to do certain things because they're a kid, they don't know like how to live by themselves. It's like you have to tell them to do this and that, like, well, you have to.
That contradicts his
and it contradicts system. Like he doesn't want like anyone telling you like how you should live at all. He's very well spoken though, and like if I had watched it freshly, I'd be able to explain it better. But
I'd like to talk to that fucking guy.
dude, he's just like, he's inspirational because he's just like, wow, like, I can not care. It's like I can like do whatever I want, and it's like he's living, and he's like one day, and I think towards the end of the interview, like the guy asks him like, what do you see yourself doing in like 30 years or 20 years? He's like, I want to get a piece of property, like out in the middle of nowhere, and like move my family there and just like live out the rest of my days on this one piece of property and never have to like deal with like anyone ever.
See, that's my definition of anarchism, when I'm just living on a piece of land with no disturbances, just growing my own food and being fully self-sustainable.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
It's exactly what he wants to do.
I'm not about going into Target and stealing groceries.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I think it's a horrible idea that really rapidly affects mad people, not even corporations.
Yeah.
I think it affects the community, which that's the thing. Like, I really disagree with that.
He touched on dumpster diving. Like, he has no, like I said, he doesn't care about anything. So like he'll go into dumpsters and he's like, you have no idea. Like, this is actually true though. It's like he explained, like, you have no idea like how much trash and waste, food, like particularly food waste, gets thrown out at the end of like the night from like every restaurant.
It's fucking ridiculous.
And he's like, so he just goes like, so he'll dumpster dive for food. He's like, I've ate some rancid meat. You just have to cook it, and it's like, dude just doesn't care. He's like, I used to work at Domino's, so like occasionally he'll still like throw on the uniform and like walk into a Domino's and like take a pizza, like he's about to like go deliver it or something.
Bro,
like he doesn't care. Like he just
Oh, this seems like a comedy sketch.
And when I think it was Obama's inauguration in 2012, the FBI came up to him, and like he was in like a coffee shop, somewhere. I think it was East Coast, because I think he was planning on going to the inauguration, and the two FBI agents showed up, and he said he tried to find them online afterwards. There's no trace of them anywhere online, their names at least, that they gave to him, and they commented that he was like hard to find, and like they were basically like, what are you like, are you planning on going to the inauguration? And he says he denied everything they said, but he was like, I was planning on going, and like
until they saed that,
and they were like, oh yeah, he said it freaked him out, so he was like, he had scrapped it, but he was like, he had been planning something online, like I don't know what platforms he was on, but like he was keeping everything like low key, but like getting it out there for like certain people that like he thinks like would be interested. He just wanted people to gather and go, and like the guy was like, do you want to were you for or against? He was like, he's just like, I just want to get a message out, and his message is just like anarchism. Like it's not like he's always constantly like, I want to get my message out there, but like he saw this as like a way for him to like have eyes on him if he was to do something. So it's like, what was this guy planning on doing? And he was just like, I wasn't planning on like inciting violence. He was just like, I was just gonna go there to like spread a message, but like he doesn't explain what he was gonna do. So it's like, but he's not like a crazy guy. But yeah, the FBI freaked him out. He didn't end up going. They like took his laptop for a long time. Like his girlfriend, like they show up to his house and his girlfriend like stupidly gave him like their laptop. And like a year later, they gave it back to him. We're like, yeah, we like couldn't get in, like couldn't get past your passcode. And there he was like, he thought like he was about to get arrested. Like he said he had some like crazy shit on his laptop, but it took him like a year, and like they gave it back, and we're like, yeah, we couldn't get like your passcode.
That's why you need a VPN, so no one knows where the fuck you are.
He was like, you had it for a year, and just like, why am I just getting it back now? It's like, I don't know. Yeah, the FBI found him. The FBI's on. They're looking out for like people like planning to get together. Maybe like they're on it, I guess.
I mean, this is a new thing. They've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Group like the hippie movement,
Yeah.
you know, the Black Panther movement, anything like that. Anytime a movement arises where people collectivize and shit that have alternative ideas to the pre-existing structure, that's not good for the existing structure. So like they have to combat it because if they don't, it's the downfall. You know, out with the old, in with the new type of thing.
Yeah.
They kind of have no choice. It's crazy, man. Like I'm not like against. Again, I don't know enough about anarchism from my understanding. Like, if that's if that's the sole definition of anarchism, just a blanket term, I'm against that. Just to be honest with you, but I'm not gonna sit here and fucking lie to you because I have no reason to lie to anybody. But like, I don't agree with that. Some parts I do, like the farm,
some parts,
the
it's
isolated
like
house.
the way
I
he
love
does, like he does whatever he wants.
I think that's dangerous.
I know I have like my morals that like he's almost like he kind of like has a lack of morals. So that part's dangerous.
Yeah, I mean that happens in sociopaths
But like,
and narcissists.
he doesn't care about like
psychopaths,
hurting
you know?
corporations. He like hates that like there's people that like I don't know like you'll have to hear him talk about it, but
Oh, absolutely. What's in
it's
that
like
fucking? Is it a
he doesn't
podcast
like
you said or an
it's just
interview?
like an interview.
I'll absolutely
yeah.
listen to that. Listen when we're done with this.
Yeah, it's just he doesn't seem to like he doesn't want to hurt like people that are just like independent, but like he does not care if you're like CVS does not like.
Yeah, that's my issue, bro, because it's not, you know...
He thinks, like, laws. He's like, why would someone make a law?
That I
like,
agree with.
Yeah.
That I agree with. I fuck with that. There should be no, you know, because we didn't all unanimously agree on these things. Like, I think we can all agree on murder.
Yes, there has to be, like,
unwarranted
some
murder,
law.
I think we agree on. Like, if someone's trying to kill you, or break into your house, or you witness something crazy, like, you know, that's... But if
Stealing, too.
If you just go up to someone and stab them, come on. You
Can't
know?
be stealing.
Rape, I think we can all agree upon. I think we
Come
can
on,
easily.
guys.
Then we can collectively
Guys.
more agree on rape than murder. I think if you asked everybody would agree. Like, yeah, no rape.
Yeah.
That's yeah. Murder, people are like, well, what if someone breaks into my house? Yeah, okay. Rape. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we don't need that. Yeah, there's no good excuse for that. Murder can be excusable, I guess, in circumstances.
Certain circumstances.
Yeah. But yeah, like the fucking. See, the thing that gets to me more than anything, I can deal with the pre-existing structure of society. I really can, as much as I fucking despise it. If it wasn't for the absolute butt fucking of taxes. I mean, absolutely up the butt with no lube, right up your stinker every fucking time you breathe.
Why do we pay taxes?
Good question, Doug, because last time I checked, this country was founded upon two things: religious freedom and fucking no taxes.
Yeah, and no taxes.
And here we are. Here we are. It's...
We could do something about it, but we'd be treasoners.
See, here's the thing. I'm cool with paying... Yeah. We could, like, take a boat somewhere and, you know, like... But, you know, that would be bad because history repeats itself. We'd overthrow natives again and shit. Hey, maybe we don't have to go to a parallel reality to coexist with native tribes. Maybe we could just do it ourselves, bro. Just me, you, and an anarchist. We just find some natives and see what's up. Sentinel Island. They'll fucking kill us, but we can say hi. You know, it's... No, I'm not against paying taxes, believe it or not. If it's like, if I willingly am able to do it. Like, if I'm not like willing to... If I'm not...
I like that.
If I'm not being forced to go to jail if I don't,
Yes.
I'm okay with that.
I am too. Because there, of course, like I would be okay with benefiting the city that I live
Absolutely.
in. You know what I mean? Like if it goes towards educational, like most of it. So it's like, at least for a lot of places. So obviously but it's like right. It's like if I don't.
I'm not about giving money to fucking Lockheed Martin and Skunkwork projects and Raytheon.
Yeah.
I'm not for giving companies money to murder people.
Totally agree.
That's what I'm not for. And if that's radical, I'm James Dean radical, baby. Because I'm not fucking with that. But yeah, dude, if I could choose how much money, where my money would be distributed with taxes, I'd have absolutely zero issue. Because not a penny of that would go to murder. So I'd feel fine.
Right.
This is crazy. I'd pay a little more taxes if I was choosing where it went. If I could really know and know bullshit about it, I'd actually be willing to help more. Why not? If I could actually choose that shit and benefit people, opposed to overthrowing fucking countries and installing fake democracies, yeah, I would do that in a heartbeat.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, I'm just not about spending
people
50
would get
trillion.
behind that.
I'm not for $50 billion to bomb 3 farmers in Afghanistan. You know, like I'm just not for that. For whatever, call me crazy, right?
You ever think about running for an office?
Oh yeah, you know what my slogan would be? My campaign promise? One promise only.
What?
Nothing else. This one would be the only campaign to ever fall through with their ideas. I will not personally bomb any civilians. That's it. That's my only promise. I might fuck up the economy. I might get assassinated. I might do anything. The world might crumble. But I will not bomb innocent people. I won't. And you can rest assured on that. No, I would never run for any office or anything. If I ever do, please beat the fuck out of me.
I won't, but I'll ask you if you know what you're doing.
Okay.
You know, you might change.
I don't want it. No, I don't. No.
No.
I'm good. I don't want it, bro. Anyone who wants to do shit like that.
But what if
should
you rise to
honestly
the top?
they
What if you get to the top?
I don't want it. I don't need it. I don't want it. I want to live my own life and benefit people. That's it. I don't want to dictate people. I don't want to tell people what they have to do. I just want to see people better themselves as a collective. That's all I want to do, and I want to live my journey. That's all. I do not want to deal with the stress of everything that comes with that. I don't.
Do you think there's a group of people that rule above the world leaders that we know? And they're higher up?
Yes. I think it's like a pyramid of it. And I think at the very top, it's just demon lizards licking nipples. Like there's just big old cosmic nipples that they're just licking all the time. And every time they lick them, another Dick Cheney gets born.
How many, in today's world, how many kids do you think in a family is like too many kids? Like you look at a family and you're like, that is too many kids.
I don't think there's such thing.
You don't?
No, if it's economically stable and like, you know, shit like that.
But at some point I feel like you aren't able, like at some point it's like you can't give an equal amount of like attention to like where it's necessary. Because like if you have like I feel like once you hit like 7 kids, like once you hit like 7
that's a
kids,
lot of people.
It's like, okay, I feel like one is gonna like suffer from like getting thrown in the middle here or something. Like I don't know what's gonna happen.
I changed my view. Once you need to buy a Sprinter van to go to Costco, you have too many kids. That's my new stance on that. Once you need to absolutely refinance your house to get a fucking new car.
Because I feel like back when families were having like over 7, like we're talking like 10 kids.
They were just fucking.
Like the older kids were expected, like once like they're like 8 years old, it's like they're now expected to like take care of like the girls, and like they take care of like the babies and shit. So it's like everyone, like you had help from like everyone. Like even the other kids, like nowadays the other kids are going to school. They're not like doing that. Like so it's like you don't have like the help of other kids like all the time. Obviously once they have more free time and they're a little bit older, yes, like they help out. But I don't know, it's just like in like financially, if you can do it, okay, you know. But like why stop anyone if they want to have that many kids? Like obviously like 3, 4, 5, like that's cool. Like there's nothing wrong with that. You can do like there's moms that have that many kids, like I'm 3, you're 4.
Yeah.
Like they're super moms. But
all moms are super moms.
All moms
as
are
long as they're
super
not
moms.
Cunts
Yes.
As a human, but yeah.
Well,
Dude, the cunt tally today, going off the charts, by the way. But I'm going to get banned from saying cunt too many times. But yeah, as long as you're not a piece of shit, you're like a decent mother. Yeah. You're a super mother. You're a superhero.
But honestly,
that's a hard fucking job. Same with fathers. Shout out fathers too. But yeah, shout out parents.
If there's a family with 9 kids and they all like the kids turn out good, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah.
So there's no such thing as too many kids. There's not. I take it back.
I think for me, it's like I'm saying this in a place where I don't even know if I want kids in the first place. Yeah. So it's like it's easy for me to say that. So it's like I don't know. Like I've always like I don't want kids due to the fact of like, not like, what's it called? Not like any real issue. It's just like, oh yeah, I don't know. Well, I'd be a good dad. That's all I've always
think
thought
about how much how much you have to put into one kid.
Yeah, man.
It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, man.
I
You
can't
need to.
imagine having a kid
You
right
need
now.
to, bro.
Like
You have
so
to, yeah.
much. You have to put in so much.
There's a book called The Road Less Traveled by M. Scott Peck, and one of the greatest books I've ever read. And he was a psychologist and an author. And dude, he's got a book. It's this is a sidetrack. He's got a book about when he was being a psychologist, he would have patients, and it's like a book about the paranormal and demonic attachment from a few patients that he encountered. Exorcisms related to them and whatnot. Very interesting stuff.
I find that very interesting.
I have the books, but it's the Road Less Travel. It's all about how it's really just about like spiritual journey as a collective and whatnot, but it really hyper fixates on the fact of like early development of a child in the adolescent years and the how important it is for
I'm
who
very
you
interested
become.
in that shit.
And it was like, oh, that's amazing, but then it was like, dude, that's so much fucking responsibility. I barely know who I am right now. Like, I know like 1,000th of who I actually am.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, I've been with myself every second of every day. And I still don't know who the fuck I am. So it's like, how the fuck am I gonna create someone?
Exactly.
How am I gonna model that? Well, it's a lot of pressure, man. It's so easy to fuck up. It's
I mentioned that YouTube channel, Soft White Underbelly. It's called. Great YouTube channel. Guy Mark does a great job. But most of his interviews are with like homeless people, drug addicts, prostitutes, pimps, gang members. Basically, like that's like just like the kind of the outcasts. What like a lot of people would consider like the low lifes of society.
yes.
That's
Who
the
don't fit in the society.
Yeah, they don't. They just they don't fit in and like whatever. And I can I listen to a lot of them, and in like 95%, like no joke, 95%, they were abused. Like, maybe some of the guys like weren't, but like so many of the guys. Like it's like it doesn't matter if you're a guy, and whether it's sexual abuse, or just any like a lot of horrible shit these people went through, and it's like literally 9 out of 10 of them went through horrible abuse, and it's like it's not just like here and there. It's like, wow, that was tough. It's like every single one. It's like, wow. It's like they just have like they just like carry so much with them, and like no one's like, it's like they never have had the chance to like probably tell their story. Like they probably just like, they just like, it is what it is, like. But I'm just like, I don't know. These people have like such crazy stories that they probably never told anyone before. But it's that those years, 1 to 10. It's like, oh, if like it's sick the amount of like just sexual abuse there was like to like so many of these people. Yeah. It's like it's just like undeniable. It's like there's a lot of like just tapped people, like more than I wouldn't expect it to be like that common. It's like if like I just like what I take away from that is like not many people like can just get like live a normal life after like early abuse. It's like very few people are that like able and strong to like live like they're fine. But it's like these people like aren't like these people just aren't fine.
And it's like, normally a pattern of it too. It's never just a one and done type of thing for the most part. It's usually just life, like, growing up with that environment.
Yeah.
whether it be sexual or physical or verbal, emotional, anything.
Yeah.
Like, it all help.
It's
big
usually like a
distinction
mix of
between
like
some-
everything.
Yeah.
with these. It's like there's just like a lack. Like they weren't given the like attention. They're like no one cared. Like it's like their own like mother. Like a lot of the time like don't even care.
Yeah, man. It's like, how do you to critique my own fucking claims? It's like, how do you get excited about living? How do you look forward? How do you get
I know.
optimistic when your own fucking mother? It's like, to those people, man, I just wish I could hug them. Because there's nothing I can say.
Yeah.
What the fuck am I gonna say to someone
There's
like that?
It's like it literally gets as bad as like some women that are prostitutes. It's like they're like, yeah, my mom was a drug addict. She would, like, guys would give her drugs in exchange for like they could have like time with like the daughter and like you know what I mean. It's like, oh my god. Cause like and drugs is just a part of like everyone's life. Like these people, it's like even if it's like that's not their thing, it's like there's some sort of relationship with drugs too, whether they're trying to move past it or not.
This is the thing, man. You'd be surprised, I feel like, how many people in everyday society, even probably people like, that or people know that people that know people, or just walking down the street, people you work with, they probably experienced something like this, man. And it's just like, you just don't know.
Yeah.
You just don't fucking know what people have really been through, man. Like, when you're judging that person for whatever they're doing, fucking think about it for a second. Because, were you punched in the face every day by a drunk father? Were you fucking abused by an uncle? Because you don't fucking know if they were. Not everyone's just a prick. Some people are actually going through some shit. They're trying to actively figure it out or trying to cope. Just fucking show some love, man. It's... Because there's not... This is fascinating. Because I've been thinking about what type of route I want to take with psychology when it comes down to choosing a specific major and whatnot or whatever. I just feel like there's so many possibilities, but this shit gets me not excited but interested, because it's you get to the drug part of psychology, you get to the abuse, trauma based. It's like, man, this isn't just people who are depressed. This isn't someone who has a chemical imbalance in their life, or someone who doesn't work out, or this is someone who literally has dealt with things that nothing you can say automatically should make them more relieved because of what they've been through. There's no words you can say. Yeah. All you can do is go through this journey of them with them, and that is just, it's... Because how many people live their whole life and they just never overcome it? They come to it and they just fucking kill themselves, or they abuse themselves. It's fucking...
That's a good way to put it. It's like they abuse themselves.
Yeah.
It's like that's what ends up happening.
The abuser's gone, but they're still with the memory. So what do? Self-harm, drugs, selling their bodies, reckless behaviors.
So many, when it's just a homeless person, it's like... You hear their story, but then it's then they'll be like, "Are you drugs part of your life?" And then they'll be like, "Yeah, I smoke crystal meth sometimes." And it's like, "Damn, you just be smoking crystal meth." But it's like a homeless woman, and she's yeah, I tried to kill myself the other day, and she's got cuts, and it's just it's just these it's not just homeless people, it's they get to the point of how would you not though, sure, you look at homeless people, but it's these people might be on the edge of any they could be you have no idea what they're feeling that day, because it's they've been crushed for so long, a lot of these people, and it's there's just how do they keep going? Why keep going at some point? It's you've been doing the same thing. How do you find hope? I don't know.
I think you just... I don't know, That's a good question. How can I speculate,
A lot of these people, it's all, a lot of people from LA, it's I don't know. It's I feel you gotta get out of LA, first of all.
there's this
Nothing good is gonna happen there.
No, that's a different story. But no, it's obviously like the epicenter of homeless epidemic going on right now.
Because a lot of people just go there, and they're good people, and they just end up homeless. Like, not saying like a lot of them, it's just like a lot of these people end up just like leaving home at 18, 19, even maybe even younger a lot of the time, just because they have to leave home. It's like they just have to for whatever reason. Yeah. It's not a good environment. And it's like they have no options, and they have nothing to. They're just there. They're like. So it's like, yeah.
You know, when I started going to this gym, the new gym I go to, on the way I drive by this like a, you know where Best Buy is, like Daddy's Dairy.
Yeah.
You know how there's like that strip
Daddy's
in the middle where there's like the lights.
Yeah.
There's always a young dude who's on that island, and like one day I'd give him some stuff sometime and you just do it up. But then one day I was like, can I get you something to eat? He's like, yeah, sure. I was like, all right, I'm going to pull back. Just meet me in the parking lot. I just talked to this guy for like 5-10 minutes, bro. And I was like, whoa, like, I've never, like, really just had a conversation with, like, a homeless person. Mm-hmm. And it was like, bro, like, I didn't realize I had a preconceived notion until that moment.
Me too.
Because I was like, yo, like, why did I think this was so monumental?
Yeah.
It's just a fucking person, bro. Then I was like, dude, I never realized that I looked at them as different classification as citizens. When in reality, they're fucking people. Mm-hmm.
They were a kid in school, like, sitting next to you or me.
Dude, like, he's younger than I am. He's literally a kid. He's like 20. He's like 20.
That's so sad, dude.
But, you know,
it's like, he's young, though. So it's like, you have, like, I hope, and things end up getting better. And he doesn't have to be there one day.
Well, I'll tell you, he's phrases. He's found some side work. It's under the I didn't want, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel like, oh, he's not paying taxes. Fuck you if you think that. He's doing like side work under the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bro, he told me one day, he's like, yeah, like this guy. It was just like, yeah, man. I was like, whatever. I do my fucking thing. But I'm talking to him and I'm like, yeah, like, what's up, basically? And he's like, fucking, yeah, some guy drove by. We were talking real quick and he asked me if I ever done painting. And I was like, yeah, I summer jobs before. And he was like, all right, you want to, like, try something out? He's like, yeah, I'd love to. Didn't work out for him. But the guy found him again. Said he found somebody. But he's like, my buddy does landscaping. He's doing landscaping on the side now.
Oh.
Boom.
So he ended up getting a gig doing some landscaping.
I mean, I seen him like a week ago.
That's awesome.
A couple days
that
ago.
Guy's like, look, he's like,
yes.
How can I help this dude out?
Fucking
like,
amazing.
There's no, that's great.
Amazing.
That's great.
He's still out there. It's fucking progress.
Exactly.
But bro, it's like
it doesn't happen like one day. He doesn't have to get there. It's like some people just like don't have like. It's just like. This guy might not have any friends, any family to like go to. It's like it could just be him.
You know what it would mean to me, bro? If someone pulled up to me, said, "Come to this parking lot." Fuck the food. Just had a conversation with me, bro. I was like, because he told me one time as a guest, I've had golf balls thrown at me and shit like that. People spitting out the windows. And it's like, man, and I was just like, man, I just asked him one day. I was like. When was the last time someone said I love you? It was just straight. I just like, because I didn't ask him. I've never asked him why he's homeless. I don't need to. I don't. Yeah. If he wants to tell me, he can tell me. But I was like, he's like, he just like shook his head, and I'm like, man, it's fucking love, brother. It's fucking love, and just just had that moment. I got in the car. I just teared up. I held the tears back, but I just teared up when I got in the car, man. I was like, I hear I love you so many times, man. Every fucking day from like other people, everybody.
Feels so good.
Man, it's so good. If you ever heard it, man, from a stranger, just having someone came up to me and just told me that, I'd be like, man, and I was just like, I'm happy I could give that to him. I hope it meant something, It's just like, I hope everybody can do this for anybody, man. We can just look at these people as who they are, fucking humans. There's literally nothing happened. It's like, have you ever done drugs? Probably. What are the odds that you got addicted to them? Well, you might not have, but guess what? You very well could have. Mm-hmm. That's what happened with this individual. Oh, have you ever lost a job suddenly? Oh, so was this person. You know, if a family member ever died and you lost a house, well, guess what? So did, you know, it's like these things can fucking happen. It's not like these people are just born out of the fucking ground and homeless forever. You know, it's like that would be a sight to see though if someone just fucking emerged from the ground. That'd be funny. But no, it's like they're just people, man. You know, it's fucking. It's all love, man. I care too much, man. I care too much. I make a lot of jokes and I say a lot of shit. I care about people, man, because I see myself in everybody. And I see my family in everybody. I see us all intertwined and shit. And it's like, how can we neglect said people, man?
I know.
It's like, it doesn't take much. You don't have to give someone a home. Give them a conversation. Give them a smile or a wave. You know, you don't want to give them money because, they might buy alcohol. Fucking buy them lunch. You know? Like, bro, ask them if they're willing to take a half hour out of the day to sit down with you in a McDonald's or whatever. I don't know. Just fucking, you know what the fuck they've been through, man.
I know.
Well, dog. With that being said, I had a great time.
I did too.
As always.
I have I guess a closing question.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, by the way, did we get to your shit?
Yeah, we're literally like on the last thing.
Okay, I forgot about that.
Oh, where we've touched on everything.
Perfect.
Only a few points. But if I want to, like, I feel like I already I'm pretty in tune with myself, but I want to, like, actually set time to, like, meditate for myself. It's like, what would you recommend as someone who's, like, never, like, been, like, I'm going to meditate? It's like, I've probably done some form of, like, meditation before, but, like, what do you think I should do, like, for a, like, beginner?
The easiest things probably is, like, you can get guided meditation videos where people will talk you through it, which is cool. It's really easy to follow. But, like, really, dude, I do this the more than anything, really. So, like, I'll do, like, there's, like, different forms and shit. Sometimes, like, I'll, like, have thoughts come into my head and I won't suppress them and push them out. I'll let them sit there, but I won't think about the thought. I'll just let it kind of sit there for a second and see what happens. I won't consciously think about anything. I'll just let my brain kind of work. And then once I get really, like, chaotic, I automatically just push it out no matter what it takes. And then I just don't let anything harm. And I just kind of repeat that. Okay. So it's like I kind of let things. I don't even know if this is a practice. This is what I like to do. I let them come into my head, but then I immediately, when I decide, they're gone. And if they come back, I just keep doing it. Yeah. Because it's like throughout the day, bro, you have so much shit like that. If you can't push bullshit out sometimes, it's like, you know, you can just breathe. I like the breathing. Like, I just really focus on my breath. Yeah, like, what I like to do, I like visualize, like, when I breathe, I'll be like, happiness. When I exhale, sadness. Inhale, optimism. Exhale, pessimistic mentality, you know. Inhale, you know, health. You know, I like to really, like, just get, like, hippie-ish and like visual. I fuck with that shit. So I really intake the things that I want my mind to think of. So the breath, when I breathe them out, it's like I'm actually forcing myself to just not acknowledge them anymore. They're gone. That's pretty easy. Just breath work. You just really just don't think about anything. Just breathe and focus on your breath. Listen to noises around you and shit. You know, you can put your hands on, like, the ground. I mean, on the bed or table. You can put them on your head, wherever. But, like, if you put them on something, kind of just think about how it feels and shit. Kind of move it a little bit. Just kind of get a grip for it. But yeah, you can go crazy and do some psychedelic. No, don't do that the first time. Yeah, you can do some shit in it though. Yeah. And a lot of times it's fucking boring, and it'll be like, this is fucking stupid. Then you open your eyes and you're like, oh man, that was good. That 5-10 minutes was good.
Oh yeah. So,
you know, it's.
I recently, Sophia's cousin hooked me up with some, like, mushroom chocolate, psilocybin chocolate, and it was like I ended up taking like a micro dose, but it was on like the kind of like the bigger end of a micro dose. But it was like my first experience
with 0.5 type of thing.
Yeah, my first experience with like any psychedelics. I mean, obviously it's mushrooms, but
no, you never.
No, never.
Wow.
It was a great experience, and he's like, I got a little bit of DMT left. He's like saying how it's the best experience. Like, it's like better than anything he's ever done. He's like, I got a little bit left, and I'm just like, I don't know. Like, I don't think I want it.
Did you do DMT?
No.
I was gonna say if we didn't start off with your DMT story, I'm gonna be very upset. We're gonna have to start this whole thing over again.
Like,
Start with that.
What do you think though?
About it?
Like I have the if I have the option to like smoke DMT, right?
How's your are you like confident with your subconscious mind? Are you confident that you don't have any trauma or like neglect built up or personal like vendettas against yourself or others? Like are you really, really cleansed that you don't have anything that's gonna surprise you if it emerges that you can't like comprehend? Because you gotta be careful.
No bullshit. Like I feel like I am. Like
Okay.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's just a projection of your subconscious mind just portraying itself. Like you'll get mad hallucinations. You might see other beings. I don't know what the fuck that is. Probably like legit other dimensions. But what really does happen is you'll start getting like introspective and you'll like everything that's in your fucking mind that you like don't want to confront, you're gonna be faced with basically. I've never done DMT. This is just how I understand it. Because I won't do DMT because I have that problem. I'm not a saint, so I'm not gonna sit there and fucking trip out and start seeing aliens, but then start seeing like my face and shit, and start having myself look at me, and like I don't want to deal with that.
I know, right?
Because I want to deal with that when I'm not high. Like I want to really do it when I'm sober, maybe a little high off weed, but I don't want to be on the strongest psychedelic known to man. Scared for my life.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're confident, yeah. Like if you really don't think,
but what scares the crap out of me is it's like there's nothing like it's like the peak of like psychedelics. It's like at least that's my understanding.
Yeah.
It's like so it's like just it's a little nerve wracking. So I don't know.
It's 5-hydroxy, right? It's the one you smoke, not like it's not it's not a root or a plant combination.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the one you smoke.
Okay, if it's a plant root combination, you're gonna be prepared for like a day worth of tripping.
Okay, I don't. Yeah, because
like
he told me it was like about 10 minutes
yeah,
long.
Yeah, that you smoke it. Yeah, it can feel mad. Long.
I didn't even know there was a
careful.
different.
Yeah, this is like a synthesized version of dimethyltryptamine. Real dimethyltryptamine is a combination of roots and plants in the Amazon jungle that indigenous people somehow, out of hundreds of thousands of subvarieties of fucking plants and roots, they decided to somehow merge these things together and create the strongest psychedelic known to man.
Okay.
So basically it's impossible. If you ask them, what they literally would said is that the plants told them to. So I do with that as you will. I mean, which makes a lot more sense than they accidentally created the strongest known thing known to man that's also inside your own brain, believe it or not. Your brain produces dimethyltryptamine all the time. It's in your pineal gland speculatively, but it's definitely in your body.
Yeah, so I promise if that ends up happening, that will be the opener of the next one we do together. So yeah, I'll sit with that.
I'd take it easy. Be careful though.
For sure. No,
definitely
for
be in
sure.
an environment where if you like start freaking out, you're gonna be okay.
Okay.
Because I've heard. I don't want to put it in your head. Just be good.
No. What have you heard?
Well, I don't want to see. Here's the thing. You don't want bad. I feel.
He said he had a bad experience. He said he had a good experience, a really good one,
Yeah.
really good. But then he said he had a bad one because he was at like work. This dude's crazy. He was at work.
He smoked DMT
Yes.
at work.
He was at work, and he said like little elves were like, he was sitting in this chair. He said he can't sit in the same chair anymore because it freaks him out. He was like there was like goblin elves that like crawl up his legs.
Yeah, everyone. Mad people see legit elves.
Okay.
And like court gestures and like playing card jokers, just everywhere. Dude, you get really complex patternizations and like shit like that. Like you get like grid systems of like weird shit. Like you're not gonna like see vibrant colors in the room. You're not gonna see anything. It's just gonna be your whole perspective and reality is gonna be totally foreign. You're never gonna experience anything like it basically. If you've never done it. If you've only done shrooms, it is nowhere close. I've never done DMT. I've done shrooms.
I know it's nowhere close.
Nowhere close.
Yeah.
Like that is like comparing caffeine to cocaine. You know, like yeah, they're gonna get you a little buzzed, but one's gonna get you to be Jack Nicholson, and one's gonna get you to fucking be a Starbucks bitch. You know, it's but yeah, I heard Ari Shaffir.
Yeah.
He I don't want to fuck up your... Okay.
Dude, I want to hear.
Okay,
I want.
so Joe Rogan said he had a story about Ari doing DMT, and when Ari came back, he freaked out because he thought he lived a whole life as a farmer in like the 15th century or something. He had a family, he had a farm, he lived a whole ass life to the point where he came out, he was violent and screaming and freaking the fuck out because he had no idea what this reality was anymore. It's a 15-minute thing that he thought was a whole lifetime to him. Yeah. So
thank you.
It can go really sideways or it can go really crazy good. Because like I've heard stories of people like, you should listen to Terrence McKenna. Bro, you listen to Terrence McKenna? Okay, you gotta study this guy. He is like the godfather of psychedelics, bro. He wrote mad books about Food of the Gods? No, is it Food of the Gods? Whatever. I can't even think. He's like a lecturer and like a psychedelic fucking influencer. Basically, like he took a ridiculous amount of psychedelics his whole life. He's a brother named Dennis, and his brother's still alive. I think Terrence died of like a brain tumor or brain cancer. But dude, he would just go crazy. But he has stories that everybody has of, he'd see the elves, but what he said is when he would do it, they'd be like, oh, we're so glad you discovered this technology. They referred to DMT as a technology. And he was like, what? What do you mean? And, dude, you hear this guy talk, Doug?
All right.
You'd be like, oh, he does drugs, but you hear this guy talk, you'd think he's talking in front of an MIT postgraduate class. Like, this guy's fucking on it. So his vocabulary is fucking immaculate. He's mad funny. He interacts with crowds, but like, dude, he is just very knowledgeable on drugs.
I'd love to listen to him.
It's.
So I'll send you that Dirt interview.
Yep.
A guy named Dirt.
Hell yeah. I'll send you Terrence McKenna.
Send me some Terrence McKenna. I'll look it up myself.
It's great. It's fucking great. I fall asleep to it sometimes. Like I'll just like get really high and I'll just listen to it and I'll like fall asleep. I'll wake up and be like, oh shit, I fell asleep to that. It's like
I do that all the time.
He talks like this. It's really like it's really like nasally and shit. But it's fucking crazy, bro. It's fucking crazy. ASMR. I find psychedelics so fucking interesting.
I do too, and that's what it's like. I'm scared, but it intrigues.
Yeah. Yeah, I have this idea of like I would do a ridiculous amount of substances given the circumstances. Like I wouldn't just do MDMA off the street. Absolutely never. Like I probably never would because I don't trust street drugs at all. Even street weed, I don't trust anything anymore because of just how crazy it is. But like if there was like a research group in like the area where it was like, hey, we're just testing the public if anyone wants to participate in a placebo study, like a blind, you might get a dud, you might get MDMA, like sure, just test it out. Yeah. Absolutely. Ketamine, yeah, I would. Yeah. LSD, not a chance. But like shit like that, I would. Yeah, like, there's some things I would.
LSD kind of freaks me out more than DMT does.
I would do DMT before I did LSD.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, because of how much I know about the history of it and the weaponization of it. Bro, I'm under this notion that you have a Akashic Records type of hive mind record of memories of psychedelic trips. There's been a lot of bad LSD ones because of the weaponization of it. That scares me. I feel like if I tripped, I'd instantly start thinking about all the people before me that had bad experiences forcefully. And it would, I feel like I'd just fuck it up. Maybe I'm probably in my own head, but yeah, man. There's some things I would do. Given the right circumstances, again, not just buying off the street, but here's what it is. All right, Doug, it was an honor.
Dude, it was sick.
I need food. I'm sorry.
I do too.
I did not eat after the
hungry.
gym. I was like, I just need to do this podcast.
Pretty hungry.
I wonder if it's 10:30. No way.
Yeah, it's 10:30.
I'll just make some foods. I was gonna get Poe and splurge, but all right, folks. Hey, I appreciate you guys as always watching. I'm sorry it's kind of been a while. I know I did the one with myself recently, and it was like an hour and a half me lecturing about just shit, and it was like. It felt weird, but well, guys, I'm working on some future shit. It's I know it's looking a little slow. I just got some shit on my plate. No excuse though. I enjoy doing these, so it's just gotta happen. But yeah, Doug, any You want to wrap it up with?
No,
brother?
thank you so much for having me on.
Man, I should be thanking you. Are you crazy?
It's always like just a great time. I love doing these. I love your platform too. It's just like you're growing and like you're getting like a ton of different perspectives and just like interesting people coming on. That like I love it. I really do.
Yeah, it started off conspiracies and shit, and now it's just I like everything.
Yeah,
So
it's
why
like
limit it?
it's literally everything now.
That's how I want it to be.
I love it.
You know?
I respect that.
Shout out Rogan for that, because I see Rogan doing just mad random things, and I'm like, that's how I want mine to be.
Yeah, he
That's how I want
does,
it to be.
doesn't he?
Well, guys. Oh, real quick, if you made it this far, no promises. One promise: I have an anarchist coming on. One I'm working on is a Buddhist monk. So that's no bullshit. I'm actually working on that, and I have a what's the other one? I got like 2 ones with buddies coming up. And then I have another one that I'm working on too. That's gonna be toward the middle to end of May with the marijuana company. So that's cool. So yeah, guys, I appreciate
A lot of
you.
exciting things coming
Yeah,
up.
man. Yeah, I like to make sure people know. You know, it's
Yeah.
like he's not just gonna vanish for a year or whatever. Fuck, man. But all right, man. I had an honor. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, sir. Grab it. Go on. Swing the saber. Carry yourself with the saber.